Welcome back, everyone. This is part 2 of the King's Castle. King James along with Blair Chopin. And tonight we're breaking down the week in WWE as we always do. But, something that happened this past Monday Night on Raw I thought was quite interesting. There's one superstar in particular who is arguably becoming the most popular young face for the fans on Raw, and I'm talking about Sami Zayn. But a lot of people argue that Sami Zayn has been underutilized over the past several weeks because he's, like I said, he's the dark horse, but the fans really seem to like him. However, because he failed to bring the Intercontinental Championship back to Monday Night Raw at Survivor Series, Stephanie McMahon wanted him punished. So they put him in a match 2 weeks ago with Braun Strowman, which was honestly stopped because Zayn couldn't defend himself. Well, last week on Raw, it was Strowman one-on-one with R-Truth. And again, Foley felt the need to get involved even after Sami Zayn interfered and tried to stop Strowman himself. But then, Zayn had a confrontation with Mick Foley in the ring, saying that he feels like he's being put down because Foley is taking opportunities away that he didn't have for himself when he was an active superstar. So therefore, Zayn thinks he's being held down by upper management, aka Mick Foley, when on the contrary, Foley says that Stephanie McMahon, Raw Commissioner, wanted to fire Zayn. So therefore, I think Zayn's put himself on the bubble here, and he could get himself into a lot of trouble. But what do you make of this? Do you think Sami Zayn's getting ready to turn heel because of all the frustration?
I don't know if turning against management is ever a heel move, because people usually like when they like shows like this. Is why Austin 316 worked, because people like living in a fantasy world where you can turn against your boss and you can fight your boss and everything, and it's all okay. So I don't think he'd be a heel for doing that. What I do think is he's a mid-card guy. He's an Intercontinental Champion guy.
Well,
and despite
he's not the champion. He failed to bring.
I know, but that's
overall.
Okay. I understand, but that's what he's in contention for. And when you have these mid-card storylines, if you just have a mid-card storyline, people aren't interested. So you have to do stuff where people are threatening to get fired, their career is on the line, and you have to spicing it up. And I think that's all that's happening. I think he'll be fine.
Well, here's the thing about that though. You say turning against management is never a heel move. However, in this case, we're talking about a guy in Mick Foley who is the general manager of Raw, but who has also been a fan favorite for most of his career.
But I mean, he could easily, if he starts being like a total asshole as a manager, then I mean, I think he could be a heel too. I mean, I don't think Mick Foley's like forever a good guy.
Well,
because I think if you're a manager,
that could be.
If you're in management, people have a propensity to turn against you.
Absolutely.
In the wrestling world.
In another related storyline here, the New Day are getting very, very close to breaking the record set by Demolition for the longest tag team title reign, because they've now been champions for 468 days. But this past week, they had to fend off Gallows and Anderson, which they barely did because Xavier Woods was able to grab the tights long enough to hold Gallows down for the pin. But my question to you is this. Simply put, do you think the New Day can get the job done? Because Stephanie and Mick Foley have made it clear they want New Day to earn this record, which means they're going to keep throwing challengers at them week after week till they get it. And considering what's happened in their last couple matches, they've gotten very lucky, but I don't think they can get it done. I think they're going to fall short.
Well, I mean, you'd have to say that whenever someone's held a belt or held a championship for 468 days, they should be favored to win whatever matches are coming their way. Because the odds are in their favor. Since they've held it for so long, the probability is that they're not going to lose. But, with that said, I think it'd probably create more drama if they did lose before the record. If some sort of interference was involved in them losing.
Right.
And then they have like a chase back to WrestleMania to win their title back. I think that would make sense.
In your opinion, should they lose the title?
I mean, I don't care if they lose or not, but I mean, here's the thing. I think the WWE's in kind of a precarious position with them because while they're very popular as a tag team, and I don't know if the WWE if they're popular enough to where the WWE wants them to have some sort of record as a tag team, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
So I think, I mean, if they've held the title for 468 days in a row, I would root for them to win. But I would understand if they lost. I would understand the logic behind it.
Me too. As a matter of fact, I think that's what they tried to do when they were first trying to popularize the women's division, because they let Nikki Bella hold on to the women's title for a year, and then they let Charlotte go on that massive run, which broke the record. Now she's going back and forth with Sasha Banks, which I'll get to in a moment.
Yeah, it seems like whenever someone's holding the title for an extended period of time, you're just trying to establish them more and more as a superstar.
Exactly.
Kind of add to their invincibility.
Exactly.
So that's why it's going to be a big deal. And a tag team title match normally is the biggest deal, but if they lose now, it would be a huge deal.
And honestly, do you think it'd be better if they lost the titles during Raw or during a pay-per-view?
Usually during a pay-per-view, right?
That's what I think.
Because it's like the old Goldberg-Hogan WCW match.
Exactly.
Right.
In fact, even though that match took place on Nitro,
it would have been better. They always say it would have been better if it was on a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Tony Schiavone even said that was the closest thing they ever had to a WrestleMania, so it makes sense. But anyway, when we come back, we're gonna break down the Raw main event and give you some interesting tidbits on that. Plus, we're gonna talk a little more about the upcoming TLC pay-per-view from SmackDown Live, which will take place tomorrow night. So stay right there.